Okay, last we left, we were on page 46, so today we're going to be on page 47. Oh, look at that. So exciting. I do not. Hang on. Hang on, maybe. It is the sacrificial book, yes. Okay, everyone, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So we want to find the sequence of the complementary strand. What does the word complementary mean? Complementary means matching. If you're not answering the question, what does complementary mean, then you're not talking. Got it? Okay. So if we wanted to match this up, one strand of the DNA is AGT. Yes, Sora? Sorry, what was that? Nothing? Okay, good. Okay, so we had AGTGC. Elliot? Yes? Okay. It's right there. Okay. We got AGTGCTTAC. The matching strand, what goes with A? A goes with T because remember, apples go in the tree. And then cars go in the garage. What? What about which? Oh, well, actually, when we get to RNA later, we actually have apples under the tree because they fall off, because U takes the place of T in RNA. Woo! Yeah? Yeah. Okay, so we have T. Who goes with G? C. What's next? Everybody. Next? Next? Apple. Apple. T. G. Okay. What does the word genetic code mean? Yep, it is the sequence of bases. I know. I'm writing it down again because, yeah. No, kind of ins and outs, and it's just like, yeah, I don't work with it much. Okay. So we have the gene now. And this is a new word, a gene. Okay. So a gene is a sequence of bases that codes for a particular protein. So basically, one gene, one protein. This is hugely oversimplified. If you go and you take Biology 12, you'll learn that there's much more to it than this. But for grade 9, one gene is the sequence of letters that gives you the code for one protein. Okay? And the genetic code is read how many letters at a time? 3 letters at a time. Each set of 3 bases, and in the DNA, each set of 3 is called a triplet. Triplet, triplet, triplet. Now I'm actually going to go a little bit off script here. We're going to just rewrite this down here. What just happened? Okay. Do you guys remember how the genetic code gets out of the nucleus? Through the nuclear pores, what does it have to become first before it can get out? Has to become RNA. So what we're going to do right now is we are going to show the RNA copy of the DNA. Okay? Because we're going to show the RNA copy here. Well, we could do it up here if you wanted to. It's kind of messy. You could do it here. This would be our RNA copy. Or you can do it down below if you want. If you want to do it up here, that's fine. That would save you a little bit of writing. RNA copies work almost exactly like the complementary DNA, except for any time you want a T when it's RNA, you use U instead. U replaces T in RNA. So if I've got an A, what goes with the A? It would be a T if it were DNA, but it's not DNA, it's RNA, so it is a U. What goes with G? C. It's still C. What goes with T? A. G goes with C. C goes with G. T goes with A. T goes with A. A goes with U because this is RNA. And then C goes with G. Those are also complementary. Those bases are also complementary. Yes. So actually, it looks like the basic theory behind all of this is that RNA came first. Okay, so there was uracil before there was thymine. Okay, and if I recall correctly, and it's been a lot of years since I studied this, so if I'm wrong, don't hold me to it. But I believe what happened is that the structure of U changed a little bit in DNA so that it actually bonds a little bit more strongly with the A so that DNA is more stable than RNA, like because they hold together in the middle a little more strongly. Yeah, but I could be wrong. Okay, yeah, that's my best guess. Do you remember what we call Does anyone remember what we call the 3-letter code in the RNA? The DNA, we call it a triplet. In the RNA, we call it a no. Codon. Not condom, codon. This is not the sex ed portion of the course. Okay, this is codon. Yeah. So three-letter code is called the codon. Okay, so we got our 3-letter code. Every 3-letter code tells you a different amino acid. So in this example, AGT, the RNA code would be UCA, and that gives you amino acid like the little pink circle amino acid. Yeah? If we have GCT, the RNA code would be CGA, and that would give you a little blue triangle amino acid. And if we have TAC, the RNA code would be AUG, and that would give us the little peanut sort of shaped or kidney bean shaped amino acid. One triplet gives you one codon, gives you one amino acid. So for example, we might have TAC gives us AUG, gives us methionine, which you don't need to know the name of, but that's just an example. Okay? They all have weird, funky names, and you don't need to know any of them. You just need to know like random amino acid. It's not even enriched. It's just so you know that they do have names, but you don't need to know the names. Okay? Yeah. Because there's like 20 of them, and it's a lot to know. So, genes. What is a gene? Tell your partner, what is a gene? So one gene, so if you got one gene, what does it code for? It gives you the code to make what? We're on the next page. We're now on page 48. Ladies. Hey. So genes give the instructions for one protein. Amino acids are the building blocks for proteins. A chain of amino acids is a protein. So if you take a bunch of little amino acids and you stick them together, you get a protein. What do we call those little things that we stick together? Amino acids, but they are a type of thing. We have single units. The amino acids are the single units. Those are our monomers. Yes, they are. And a protein is a chain of units. So the protein is the polymer. So the cell reads the DNA sequence in a series of triplet codes. There's actually RNA in here. There should be an RNA copy in here. I need to rewrite this one. Yeah. Are we good? And then the amino acids for each triplet code string together, and we end up with an entire chain of amino acids. So our monomers get together and make a polymer. And that polymer, yeah. Don't worry, there's another section where we actually have amino acids, or sorry, the RNA copy shown, okay? And there's an enriched word, if you would like to know, before the protein folds up, the long chain of amino acids, before it folds up, is called a polypeptide. After folding, it's called a protein. But if you're like, you know what, I just want to call this thing a protein because that's too complicated, you can just call that thing a protein before and after folding. It doesn't matter. Yes? But if you want to know the word polypeptide, there you go. There it is. Yes? No, the protein would be this whole thing. So, okay, so here's what I'm saying is for grade 9, you can call this whole long thing a protein. What is it really? It is actually a polypeptide. No, this one specific one is an amino acid. So we got amino acid, yeah. So we're good? Cool. All right. Now, proteins are important because what do proteins do? Proteins do virtually all the jobs that your body needs. Proteins do all the jobs. Just about. And what their job depends upon is what their shape is. So it's kind of like proteins are like tools that do things for you. If you have a nail, what do you need for a nail? You need a hammer. And my hammer is going to look really, really simplistic because I cannot draw. Okay? It's more like Thor's hammer than a real hammer. So the shape of the hammer makes it good for pounding the nail in, yes? You don't have to draw it. This is an analogy for you, okay? So the hammer is like the protein. Its job depends upon its shape. Yeah? If you have a screwdriver, is the screwdriver good at hammering things? No. It's good at screwing the screw in, yes? Okay, it's good for screws. And so proteins, just like the hammer and the screwdriver, their job depends on their shape, okay? And it depends on their shape and their size. So the shape and the size determine their function, okay? Let's put a star beside that. Each protein, their shape and size determines their function. And we're just going to learn about 3 types of proteins right now. Has anyone heard of enzymes? Yes? Where might you find some enzymes? Anybody have any ideas? Enzymes are in your body. Yep. They're in all sorts of different parts of your body. One place you might be most familiar with it, though, and I don't know if you are, if you've ever heard about this, but there are digestive enzymes. Okay? So when things go into your mouth, there is actually an enzyme called salivary amylase, and it starts digesting starch. Okay, so starches start to get broken down by chemicals in your mouth called enzymes. And then when it goes to your stomach, there's, which one is in your stomach? Pepsin. Pepsin is in your stomach. That starts to break down the proteins. And then you go into the small intestine and you've got lipase, and that starts to break down the fats. And if you take biology 12, you'll learn about all the different enzymes in the digestive system. But they basically speed up reactions. If you were to eat a hamburger and you did not have lipase and amylase and all the other enzymes, that hamburger would just pass straight through you. And it would look chewed, but it would look an awful lot like hamburger, and you wouldn't get any of the nutrients out of it. Yeah? Because enzymes speed up chemical reactions. Has anyone heard of a catalyst? Anyone heard of a catalyst? Heard the word before? Catalysts is the more generic term. There are biological catalysts, and then there are catalysts which are not for biological systems. There are catalysts which are just for like inorganic catalysts. So for example, if you throw some MnO2, don't write this down, into some hydrogen peroxide, it will cause the hydrogen peroxide to bubble and break down because it just speeds up that chemical reaction. So catalysts speed up chemical reactions. Enzymes are specifically biological catalysts. So they're ones that are like in the body. Okay? There are hormones which carry messages around the body. Okay, they go into your bloodstream. Yes. Yes. And then lastly, there are structural proteins. And the structural proteins help to build your cells and tissues, and they add strength to your cells and tissues. So this might be like hair, nails. There's a whole bunch of other roles as well. Did you learn about antibodies last year in grade 8? Antibodies are proteins. Antibodies are proteins, and they help to protect the body. Have you heard the word pigment? Anyone know the word pigment? A pigment is a color. Your eye color is protein. And the last one we're going to look at is transport proteins, and those carry atoms and small molecules within the cell. So those are summarized here. And we are now going to do page 51. And you're going to work on your cheat sheets. Oh, I'm sorry, 52. Page 52, and work on your cheat sheet because we have a quiz next Wednesday. And I'll get the pages it's on up here so you know exactly which pages. Sorry, you need an eraser, yes. Okay. Yes. And the pages are... I gotta write down these numbers before I forget. So what we're going to do is we're going to
No, we didn't even look. Yeah, it's from them. I been there. Size is that. I would. I am scared. There's no wreck. That's really good idea. Yeah.
Folks, for your cheat sheet, you can get a new piece of paper and attach it to your other one. Yes? You're just adding on. Okay? I'll put out the paper in case you want to. Paper is here.
Yeah, it's not this. It's not. Okay, that's not.
There we go. Oh, that's okay. Wait. Okay. Sorry. I swear. Yeah, that's something like that, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Oh. I hate that. Oh my god.